Welcome to another video. If you're new here, my name is Leah, and I'm going to go ahead and take you into my kitchen today, showing you how to use up what I have in a more frugal way, spend a little more wisely at the grocery store, and this is the final week of our big pantry grocery budget challenge. This is Savvy Saute. I have for you in the description box an entire playlist for June and July's inventory pantry challenge, so definitely check that out, as well as the extreme grocery budget challenges that I've done for 1 week's worth of meals for super cheap. One of the things that I am really passionate about is spending our money in a wise way and then using the ingredients that we've purchased wisely as well. So if that kind of content is exciting for you, definitely give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing so that you can be part of the Savvy family and not miss out on any future videos. The first thing I wanted to share with you is all of the food items I'm pulling out of my deep freezer that coincides with the meal plan. So some breakfast sausage, there's going to be some hot dogs, and here I don't need the entire package, I just wanted half of it. So all of the things that I'm going to be needing to complete the meals, I'm going to then transfer into the main freezer in my kitchen so they're ready to go. Some of it I'm automatically going to go ahead and start thawing out right away, and then other things I'm keeping in the freezer until I need them later, like those burgers. We don't need them yet. And I'm going to start working on some meal prep for my husband's lunch for work. For that, I'm going to use 2 steaks that I had thawed out, and I purchased this a while back on clearance, so it was a good deal. And I'm going to sear both sides in some oil in my Instant Pot on the saute function. Then I added a little bit of water and I pressure cooked it for about 40 minutes. Then I just shredded it up. I used that couscous and vegetable Asian blend, heated it up on the saute function, and then made a quick sauce with some chili garlic sauce and coconut aminos. Sometimes I also add some ginger in there or some like fresh garlic, but this was perfect. The second meal prep was just using that cooked chicken I had in the freezer, adding barbecue sauce to it, and then he ended up using some hamburger buns to go with it for sandwiches. Some more pre-cooked food I had prepped in my freezer, thawed out now, was the bolognese I made previously. So I wanted to use that up with some of the hamburger buns left over I purchased on clearance, and then I made a homemade garlic butter for it. So I had some mozzarella cheese left over in a small container, and then our Parmesan cheese that was left over. Both of those ended up getting used up, as well as this butter from the fridge. I just use my garlic press mostly because it's so easy and makes it really small. Add that to the butter, microwave it, and then for the pasta, it's really simple. Just make sure you salt your pasta water. So I used up the rest of the spaghetti that was in that container. I had 1 more pack left, so I just put that in the container. We're all set for that. I know I have 1 pound of spaghetti left. There's some more pasta and the beans left over that I have still. But for the butter, once it was melted with the garlic, I went ahead and just put that onto the open buns, and then I topped it with mozzarella cheese. I also like to season it. I either use Italian seasoning or my favorite 21 seasoning salute from Trader Joe's. Stick that into the oven at 425 and then have that in there until it gets nice and bubbly. When it comes out, I like to top it with some more Parmesan cheese, but that's optional. It's still good without the Parmesan. Tuna helper was next on our meal plan because we had a clearance box, 49 cents, that I picked up. So I didn't have a plan for it prior to this, and I wanted to make sure we ended up using it since it was just in the back of the pantry. I had 1 can of regular tuna left, but I did have more pouches of tuna that had flavor, so I chose the jalapeno one. I thought it was the most neutral flavored one of all that would actually mix well with the broccoli tuna flavor. Dakota actually said he liked the addition of this spice better than previous tuna helpers that we've had. I had some spinach left over from some catering that I had done previously, and it didn't end up all getting used, so we're going to use it at our house, along with the black beans I had cooked, some Colby Jack cheese, and then I have some Greek yogurt that I use as sour cream, and then I also have some tomato left over from my garden, and I wanted to top it with some hot sauce. This next meal that I made for lunch one day was a freezer meal from Trader Joe's freezer section. It's definitely something that was quick and easy. Moving on to breakfast, one Saturday morning I made some pancakes and I wanted to use up this bacon that was in the freezer. For Dakota and I, we did some pecan pancakes and then I did some regular ones for the kids. The bacon, for some reason, was so fatty, it did not taste like pork at all. It just tasted like gristly salt. So to be honest, we did not use up all the bacon. The next time I made pancakes, we did it as a taco and I served it with some eggs and sausage links. Another fun meal we did was breakfast cookies. I used some frozen bananas, just 2, and then regular old-fashioned oats. I used some baking powder, vanilla, cinnamon, and then to fill it in with other toppings, I chose some shredded coconut and pumpkin seeds. I will leave the full recipe in the description box for you, but once I had all of that combined, I just put it onto a parchment-lined baking sheet, baked it in the oven at 350 for about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how thick the cookies were. I also used my old-fashioned oats to make another batch of homemade granola. This time I chose to add almonds. Sometimes we do pecans, and that is our favorite. Here's how our meal plan went for this previous week. Everything was really good. We did everything on the list except for the shaved beef stroganoff. We ended up doing takeout that night instead, so we didn't have that. And then we didn't end up with any peanut butter rice cakes or make the Jell-O kit that I have, so we're gonna do that next week. But everything else went really well. I think our favorite was the pancake tacos. Weston loved them. And then what else? We did, I really like the black bean sweet potatoes. It's such an easy lunch, as well as the salad with those black beans, so good. And then I think Weston would always pick pigs in a blanket as his favorite out of this list. So he had such a fun time looking at the list or the menu every day. So I've said before, just because it says Sunday doesn't mean that that's necessarily what we eat across the board. So he had a lot of fun looking at it and saying, okay, these are my choices for breakfast. And then he would pick one. And then we would highlight it once we ate it. So he knew the next time he looked at it, okay, pick something that isn't purple. So next, we're moving on to our grocery shopping trip. I went to 2 different stores over the course of 2 different days, and I picked up some essentials, some produce, and then some snacks that we wanted as well. So my doctor told me to make some more smoothies, so I went ahead and bought 2 of these while they were on sale. I'm going to freeze one, use the other. I'm probably going to freeze all of it, actually, so it's going to be blended. And then we have 3 peppers. They had lots of peppers today, and I wanted the red and yellow, so 99 cents for that. Dakota picked these out, and they were on sale with a coupon. And then almond milk. I know I could make my own, but I needed it quickly, and I didn't really feel like going through all the work, so I went ahead and bought that for $1.99. So I went ahead and picked up these little fruit and veggie melts for Malin. She loves things like this, and they're keeping her content, especially right now while she's sick. So went ahead and splurged on those, as well as a splurge for the rest of us. I thought this would be amazing with some coffee at night, like decaf coffee at night, or for breakfast in the morning. It was just definitely a splurge for us. $4.99, but so good. Sounded amazing. I also wanted to get heavy whipping cream so I could make a sauce. We're going to be doing some of those chicken meatballs that I talked about, and this is going to help me make an Alfredo sauce. On clearance, I found this bag of avocados. It was down to 58 cents. It says there's 2 pounds in here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are 7 avocados in here, not the huge ones, but still pretty nice, and they feel like they're still okay. I'm gonna make some guacamole with them. And then apples, I already took these out of the bag, but I bought 2 bags. One was for 37 cents and one was for 34 cents. So 4 apples total. And then the mango was on sale for $1, so I got one of those. Also this living lettuce or greenhouse lettuce. Love this stuff. It's super soft and it makes for really good lettuce wraps. So I'm gonna use that this coming week in my lunch recipe. And then I also wanted more bananas. We always get more bananas, and the cheapest we can find them is for 39 cents a pound, and they come in this bag. And it was really cool because I got in this bag, some are already yellow and some are still pretty green. So that's gonna work out perfect. And that is everything. Here I'm just grabbing anything that I need for the meal plan out of my deep freezer. And you know how I then like to put it in my kitchen freezer for the week. So I've got some chuck roast, I have some hamburgers, I have steak. We're going to be using New York strip steak as well as this filet, which is something Dakota gets from work sometimes. I also have a teriyaki chicken thigh that I created a couple of months ago that I want to use up. We also needed to use some chicken meatballs, some chicken sausage. I wanted to refill my freezer in the kitchen with my fruit, my frozen fruit smoothie blend. And then we also have some brats in there, also some ground chicken and Canadian bacon. We are going to start the meal plan off with some pancakes and sausage for breakfast on Saturday morning. And then I might end up just doing a smoothie for myself, so I'm not getting so many processed carbs that day. We're going to a party later that afternoon. For snack, I wrote down breakfast cookies. We have some of those still left over, so I want to make sure we use those. And then for dinner, we're going to go to that beef stroganoff that we didn't get to last week. So we're going to make that. Sunday, we'll do some more breakfast cookies, probably finish those off and have a smoothie. For lunch, I'm going to go ahead and put in a roast into the Instant Pot, so when we get home from church, it's ready to go. I'll throw in a microwavable bag of brown rice quinoa mix and then have some frozen veggies on the side. For lunch, for snack, in between services, we usually go to Starbucks, so I'm sure that's what we'll be doing. For dinner, we'll just have some leftovers. We'll probably have some leftover stroganoff, things from roast dinner left over, so we'll have that. Monday, we'll do some granola with milk and banana. I still have quite a bit of homemade granola I made last week. For lunch, we'll do roast quesadillas using some of the leftover roast and then have broccoli on the side. For a snack, I have some popcorn in the pantry that I want to use up. It's like a flavored maple something popcorn. So as long as it hasn't gone stale, we'll end up having that, maybe a smoothie to go with it. And then for dinner, I'm going to use those chicken meatballs from the freezer, make a homemade Alfredo sauce, and then do some veggies. I might put some pasta on the side. And then for Tuesday, I wrote down pancakes with sausage or ham. And by ham, I mean Canadian bacon. So we'll see. And then for lunch, we'll do turkey, cheese, vegetables, and dip. So basically a Lunchable kind of idea. I have deli turkey in the freezer. We've got cheese in the fridge. Frozen vegetables, I can do like take out some broccoli and put cheese on it. I can do peppers and slice them and then have it with our hummus, that kind of thing. For snack, I wrote down peanut butter rice cake and banana, so that'll get us a little more protein that day too. And then we have dinner as the regular brats that I have. I pulled those out with some peppers and onions. So I have fresh peppers and fresh onion that we'll go ahead and use for that. Then Wednesday, I wrote down oatmeal with blueberries. So I have blueberries in the freezer. We have lots of oatmeal left in the house, so we'll probably do that. For lunch, again, we'll do that kind of Lunchable idea. We have protein balls and smoothie written down for a snack on Wednesday. And then for dinner, we don't have any burger buns, but we do have that special lettuce that I like to use for lettuce wraps. So I'm going to do some burgers with lettuce wrap, and then we have a few chips left in the pantry. If there's not enough chips for everyone, we will probably still have some vegetables that we can do on the side. I think there's a sweet potato we can use. For Thursday, I wrote down granola with milk for breakfast. We'll do some Asian lettuce wraps for lunch. So my thought on this is that we should have enough for everyone to have lunch that day, and possibly another portion of this for Dakota to have for lunch the next day. So I'm going to cook some ground chicken and then have like an Asian sauce in it. And then we'll just serve that in some lettuce wrap cups. then a smoothie or cheese and beef stick kind of thing for snack that day. And then for dinner, I have those chicken sausages that I pulled out of the freezer, and I'm gonna cut those up and use pasta and probably a marinara sauce I'll make and some frozen vegetables on the side or mixed in or something. So just a quick, easy meal there. For Friday, I wrote down cereal or smoothie. So I'm probably gonna end up having a smoothie for myself, and then we have some chocolate Annie's cereal that I wanna use up. So I'll probably let the kids have that for breakfast. We'll do some of those chicken sausages because I won't be needing all of them for pasta. I'll do some as a lunch, and we'll have it with some broccoli and cheese. Then trail mix for snack, and for dinner, we are all going to have a special steak dinner. So normally I do steak dinner with potatoes, but we have quinoa that we're going to use this time and some vegetables. I don't know if we'll do stir-fry vegetables or broccoli, whatever we have in the freezer. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for another video. I hope that this has been inspiring for you in this pantry challenge series. We have definitely stayed under our $35 a week budget goal. We have come in right at $32 a week. I will leave in the description box for you the exact amount that we spent. This Thursday, I'm going to go ahead and share with you an in-depth tour of our deep freezer, pantry, everything once our challenge is complete. And then Dakota and I are going to be going on our big grocery trip. I'm excited for you as well. Let me know if you have been doing a challenge on your own, or if you're thinking about doing a challenge. You can definitely do it. Every little bit helps. So until the next video, I will see you in those comments.